Good morning. Good morning, fam. What's going on? Kyle Anderson, Bama Football on YouTube. I appreciate you guys being here. Southern Red, what's up? Good morning. I hope you are enjoying your coffee. I have my coffee as well. Just got back from my workout. Great workout here in Tuscaloosa, Alabama today. This morning we're at Butler Field. Anybody know where Butler Field is? It's where the $1 Million Band practices during the actual season. So on Wednesdays, we're at the capstone and putting some work. I love to sprint, and I tweeted out that I love to sprint. And someone like like there's so many trolls. It's crazy. Someone was like, "You're jogging." Maybe so. Come race me, right? But I'm having fun with it, and I'm feeling good. So it's always important to get that workout in for myself, and I'm sure that you guys take care of yourself as well, mentally, physically, spiritually. And that's why I like, my workout group, is because I get all three of those components before I come here, rap with you guys right here on Bama Football on YouTube. We have a lot to dive in. Good morning, Patrick. I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. As you can see, we got the recruiting rankings posted. Now they are updated. These are On3. Remember, I don't work for On3. It's just the interface that I use because I like the interface. It makes sense to me. You also have 24/7 and Rivals, who I worked for a long time. Love all those guys at Rivals still. So you have Ohio State up at the top. They have 3 5-stars. And you got LSU with 2 5-stars. Brian Kelly doing his thing as well, along with Ryan Day. And as you know, Ohio State loaded up in the transfer portal as well. But you can't buy a team. We already know that, right? USC has 3 5-stars as well. Notre Dame, having a really good recruiting class, has 13 4-stars. And Clemson with 9 4-stars and 1 5-star. Yeah, Patrick, I didn't see the message board banter from SMU. I'll definitely check it out. Patrick says, you seen the SMU fans on their message board talking shit in the world about Keelon. Look, I think, and we're going to talk about Keelon this morning, of course, because it's it's biggest news that happened yesterday, along with Alabama linking up with NASCAR. We're going to show that photo as well. It's on the cover of this video. Alabama's they have such an amazing marketing group, right? That's able to continue to put, let me ask you this. How much longer until you have a Georgia Bulldog NASCAR? Does this exist already? I'm serious. Or do you think they're going to do it next? Because every single time that Alabama's done, remember the barbershop? Then they got a barbershop. So I don't know if NASCAR is partnering with a bunch of different places, but I don't know. Maybe Georgia probably gets their car next. What's up, John? I appreciate you, man. Good morning to you. I did not see SMU complaining about Keelon Russell. And they're probably saying, just like it happens everywhere else, including here on these message boards to Alabama, when somebody flips, you didn't need him. But the thing that makes me the maddest is when someone flips and they're like, oh, the coaches didn't want him anymore. That's not necessarily always true. In this particular case, it's not like SMU didn't want the guy anymore. Anybody would have wanted this guy. Keelon Russell's a baller. We looked at his highlight tape yesterday. What's not to like about him? I didn't realize that he's almost 6'4". I don't know if how accurate those heights and weights are, but even if he's 6'3", 190 pounds, and he can run like he runs, my goodness! And look, the ball, the placement of his passes, impressive. But I wanted to talk about this recruiting real quick before we get started. Let me know where you're watching from inside the comment box. I appreciate you guys. Exactly, Patrick. People are going to say when somebody flips or when someone even decommits from Alabama. Even recruiting analysts here, which I don't agree with. And I love those guys, but they're like, oh, he was processed out. He didn't, they didn't feel he was good enough. No, it's okay. Sometimes you can't get those guys, or sometimes they want to go somewhere else. Just like the thing with Khalil Jacobs, right? People are like, oh, well, at the end of the day, Alabama didn't want him. You don't think Kane Womack didn't want Khalil Jacobs? Missouri probably offered him more. And plus, it made more sense for Khalil Jacobs to be able to play at Missouri. He was not going to play here. That was the thing. If I'm reverse recruiting Alabama for the inside linebacker, I'm like, dude, why are you going to Alabama when you got Deontay Lawson and Jahad Campbell going there, right? 100%. Southern Reds in South Georgia. We got John up in Florida. I am the last... Abe is up in Virginia. Patrick, what's up? Coming to us from Arkansas by way of Alabama. I appreciate you guys checking in with me this morning right here on Bama Football on YouTube. So as you know, and I'll go full screen on these rankings real quick. When you look at the recruiting rankings, and these are updated after Alabama landed a quarterback, you see that Alabama is number 6 overall in the country on On3. With 9 4-stars, and their last 4-star being added, which is Keelon Russell. I almost said Keon Keeley. Keelon Russell from Texas. And when we look to Alabama's recruiting class, and we talked about this yesterday when Keelon did officially commit, one of the things that I'm going to continue to say this. Look at where these prospects are from. I'm going to say this all summer long because I think it's important. Cody, what's up, man? Appreciate you being here, man. Thank you so much. I know I got a strong following out in Austin, which I appreciate. It's a good deal, man. And appreciate you guys following. When you look at the recruiting landscape of where Coach Keelon DeBoer is recruiting, he is recruiting nationwide. And by the way, can you guys right now type in who you think, if you follow recruiting, who do you think the next prospect will be to commit? Put that inside the comment box while I wrap this up real quick. All right, when you looked at Alabama's recruiting, and Cody, how does it look? I haven't even looked at Texas recruiting as well. I don't think I was just looking in the top 6, and that's not a slight to Texas. Like, is Steve Sarkisian also recruiting across the country? Is he just staying in the Lone Star State and maybe Louisiana? I haven't really checked. And I think now you can recruit nationally, right? But you kind of shrunken down the country, and that's what Coach Keelon DeBoer has done a really good job of. Is look, you got Daryl Johnson out of Georgia. You got Derek Smith, who, by the way, is an absolute baller out of Selma. Keelon Russell out of Duncanville, Texas. You have Turbo Rogers out of Montgomery. You have Antonio Coleman out of Saraland. Jaden Harmon out of Rome, Georgia. Abdul Sanders out of Los Angeles. Zamir Smith out of Maryland. Luke Metz out of Georgia. Latier Brooks out of New Jersey. And Miles Johnson out of Alabama. So those are your prospects that have jumped on board so far. And I think it's all over, right? Patriot Life, what's up, man? I see you somewhere. Is Patriot Life up in here? Cody, what's up, man? Good to see you again. No DT talent in Texas right now. Coaches scattering everywhere. Yeah, sometimes, you know what? Recruiting defensive linemen is difficult, is challenging. So I need to get those electrolytes. How many calories have you guys burned this morning? Let's do a calorie burned check-in right now, okay? And I want you guys to push yourselves today, all right? Work out, feel good, feel right mentally, spiritually, right? So I am at, let's see, calories burned right now. This is Apple Watch. Jeff, you got to get those pumped up, man. Not happy to see that. Jeff, I'm challenging you, man. Jeff, I want you to at least get, okay, at least, the very minimum on your Apple Watch, 350 calories burned, okay? Chris, someone said I was jogging. Maybe so. Come race me, though. Okay, I'm at 555 calories burned. Okay, Jeff, your goal today is 315 calories burned if you have Apple Watch. There's a bunch of different watches out there. Push yourself. Be great, right? All right. Now I'm 40, though, so like sprinting to me might be jogging to somebody else. It's all good. All right. Cody, check in, man. We need to see how many calories you got in, man. Push yourself. All right. Damn, John, 537, but walking out of the gym now. Yeah. Attaboy, John. Pushing yourself, man. All right. Jamarcus, what's up, man? Keelon Russell and Ryan Williams. We need Decoria Moore. Look, those three, that would be incredible if you're able to get these type of ballers. And I said this yesterday, and I'm going to talk about Keelon Russell right now. Because I think, and I said this yesterday, anytime that you start to get your quarterback on board and you have your quarterback solidified for that class, the rest of the class starts to understand, look, we understand this is the message. This is the direction that we are going with this recruiting class, with this organization, and I'm going to jump on board. Because what Jarvis said it yesterday during the live, what do Savages want to do? They want to play with Savages. Like, I love so much like that dog mentality of Latier Brooks saying that they're going to step on people's necks when he gets here with Ryan Williams. Yes. Like, that's the mentality that you have to have. The standard should be to win and to play at the highest level every single time you step on the field. Right? And I know you guys want to see the 5 stars, and they're going to come, but this is a really big pickup momentum-wise for Alabama. Honestly, when I look to his highlights that we watched yesterday, and you can rewatch them here on Bama Football on YouTube, and look, this is a far-out comparison, but look at what he was able to do with Michael Penix Jr., and I'm talking about Coach Keelon DeBoer in terms of the touch, his accuracy, and a lot of that is God-given, right? Like, he's just a baller. I mean, his first-round draft pick. But I think when you look to a quarterback like this, once he gets within the system, like from what I saw, in Texas has elite high school football. He has really good touch. He has really good poise within the pocket. He knows when to escape the pocket. He has really good mobility. What's not to like? I'm kind of surprised that he's a 4-star, to be honest. And I think that he will be a 5-star quarterback when all said and done. Look at the background real quick while I take a sip of this coffee. I'm telling you, my coffee is so hot. I need my coffee hot though, right? Like, if it's not hot, I'm not having it. Oh, and then someone yesterday, I always read through the comment box, and whatever feedback. I love the feedback, even like positive criticism, or if you're trolling, whatever. I get it. It's the world that we live in. But somebody was saying that blue plate slaps. I don't necessarily like blue plate, okay? And T and I go back and forth on that all the time, talking about blue plate. It hasn't. One time I ordered, it was ridiculous. The plate, that was on me. The second time I went back, the third time, I've been there like 4 times, and I've left like, I don't feel blue plate. I like Waysider for sure. Give me Waysider all day. City Cafe, haven't been there maybe in a year or so. So I'll get back to you on that. And you also have, I'm trying to think what other, you have like Titletown, T-Town Cafe, and you have the Right Side. No, is it called Right Side? What is it out in Cottontail? Help me out. All right, it's me, Marvin. What's up? I appreciate you. Yeah, see, Southern Red, you need it to be hot. Like, I'm telling you, I need to like pause and enjoy it. Jarvis, what's up, man? Our team is in good hands. Coach DeBoer at the helm. Yeah, we're going to talk about Coach Keelon DeBoer, and I'm sure you saw this yesterday. Alabama is linked up with NASCAR in some capacity, probably some NIL deal. And I'm going to talk about that here in a second. Cody, who is a Texas fan but checking in with us, says, and more importantly, he's a Duncanville kid. That's where the wealth of talent is coming from. If KD establishes a pipeline to Duncanville, scary. Great point. And I think when you look to pipelines that Coach Saban had, it was, he could go into IMG. He could go into the Lone Star State. And one of the things that I always appreciated about Coach Saban, and I'm sure the coaches from Texas did as well, is he made sure to go to the Texas coaching convention as many times as possible to speak with those high school football coaches because of the talent-rich area. Same thing, Coach Saban had a good pipeline, I would say, to California. I mean, we're so far removed from California, but you're able to get the top prospects. I mean, Bryce Young is one that comes to mind. We could talk about a bunch of guys from Actually, name a couple guys that Alabama pulled from California. And just recently on this class, you get Abdul Sanders, who committed, and he's out of Los Angeles. So Keelon Russell is going to add a lot of momentum for Alabama's class of 2025. He's currently 6th in the recruiting rankings, and I get it. I think not having a 5-star is interesting at this point in time. Byron, what's up, man? I like that avatar. That's what's up. It's strange not having a 5-star yet. Yeah, I think so. So where I feel comfortable about that is you look at the transfers that you got in. And I don't look to transfers in terms of like a star ranking system. I look to those guys as like immediate needs and guys who have actually played or coming with playing time. For example, like let's talk about Deshaun Jones real quick. He comes from Wake Forest, right? Okay, he was like a 3-star or whatever. No. Like the guy played at the Division I level. What, the last 2 seasons? He has a wealth of it. He's no longer a 3-star prospect. That's what he was when he was 18. Now that he's 20 years old or 21, whatever he is, he's a different person. He has experience. He's played against elite wide receivers. He understands the concepts. He can come here. He's no longer a 3-star. So I look at the players that are already on board from the transfer portal standpoint, and I think that kind of, if you add the transfers and you add the recruits, it's a pretty impressive early class that Coach Keelon DeBoer is building, right? Duke Johnson, a 5-star. Appreciate you, Patrick Sims, man. Appreciate you hanging out with us right here on Bama Football on YouTube. All right, so Keelon Russell, big addition to Alabama, and I love it. And I think a lot of this stems from what you have going on recruiting-wise up at the top. And we're talking about Coach Keelon DeBoer a lot, but I think a lot has to do with this man too, Courtney Morgan. I think, this is one of my favorite hats. I get a lot of feedback on my hats, and I know Toby wants my Alabama hat. But this particular hat, I bought it clearly. I know sometimes it's like you look at it and you're like, ouch, you know, they lost to Michigan. I don't necessarily look at it that way. I had an amazing experience out at the Rose Bowl, and you always look at your opportunities as, you know, moments of growth. Like that was an opportunity to cover the Rose Bowl. But what I learned from that was it was difficult traveling all the way to California, paying all those expenses. You know, so those are different learning aspects of my business that I continue to learn as a person. But number one, this hat is fire. And then the other thing is they had a white hat like this that I wanted, but I could not find it. So it was the exact same thing, but white. Courtney Morgan. Let's talk about him. Let's hype him up. There's an interview of Courtney Morgan talking with 24/7. It's on the YouTube channel. And I love this play by Coach Keelon DeBoer in terms of how he runs his roster, coaching roster. Because Courtney Morgan, very relatable, great recruiter, and his title is general manager. Alabama didn't have a general manager under Coach Saban. You know, you have different positions, but the general manager is basically, you know, a headhunter for talent, somebody that the players meet. He works with the current roster as well. And this man has a track record for bringing in really good talent, for recruiting high-level talent. And when you talk about that Coach Saban played chess, well, this is kind of a chess move with Coach Keelon DeBoer. You surround yourself, you're a good recruiter as well, but you're also as good as the people that you surround yourself with, right? So can you imagine this experience? Let's talk wide receivers, okay? Let's say you come in and you meet with Jamarcus Shepard. Can you imagine the energy that you get from meeting him, right? And he wants you to be a taker. Okay, so then from that, there you go to a one-on-one meeting with Courtney Morgan, and you chill with Courtney Morgan, and you get a vibe of like, you know, this is how it's going to be. This is kind of the layout. This is the vision. Then you go to Alabama's nutritional center, right? And you're walking around. Wow, this is what it's like to be here. Then you go to the practice locker room and you see what it's like. Then you go to Bryant-Denny Stadium and you see the updated weight room, the updated locker room there. Then you go meet with David Ballou, who's been here under Coach Saban, and you see the weight room and you get an idea of, all right, I'm going to be putting in work. Then you go to the Sports and Science Center and you meet with Jeff Allen, who's been here for what, like 17 years? And you look at his track record, okay? So you made all these stops, right? Follow me? Go to the indoor facility. Okay, this is indoor, whatever. And then you go and meet with Coach Keelon DeBoer. I mean, that sounds like a nice setup. And if you've gone to different facilities, I'm sure they all have their different aspects, but I'm talking about the staff and the added elements that Alabama has here. What I mean by elements is like, you know, the Sports and Science Center, the weight room, the nutritional center. And then you start to talk with maybe like you maybe, if you're a prospect as well, you look to what Alabama also has, Coleman Coliseum and the basketball team. You also have this team who's basically on national headlines every single day. So look, when you come here and you look to this as well, and then you start looking at Alabama's football schedule, you're like, wow, first game's on ESPN, second game's on ESPN, third game's on Fox, right? Like, you're going to be like this, like, you're not going to get more notoriety going to any other school than being here at Alabama. Jamie, what's up, man? Appreciate you being here. Don't worry, Kyle, the 5 stars are coming soon. Good morning, Roll Tide. I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. Thank you so much. Cody says you're not wrong. I know what we're not wrong on, but we appreciate you, man. Thanks, Cody. It's been a minute, man. When I open up the call line again, man, we got to wrap. Russell will influence other Texas kids. Keelon DeBoer start roaming the halls. Yeah, for sure. And this is going to be a good battle. And another thing that Coach Keelon DeBoer can flex on, and he hasn't said this publicly, but I'll let Cody answer it. And this isn't a slight. This is just facts. Cody, what is the record between Steve Sarkisian and Keelon DeBoer head to head? I love Steve Sarkisian. It might be my coaching rankings right now might be Kirby Smart and Steve Sarkisian and Lane Kiffin. I mean, so, right? Oh, thank you, Jarvis. Jarvis hit it, right? Cody, see, that's what I'm saying. So, and we haven't publicly heard him say 2-0. And the best flex is sometimes not saying anything at all and just letting the actual fact speak for itself. So DeBoer is 2-0 against Steve Sarkisian. I'm gonna let Jarvis answer this other one. Who's another coach that's up there, climbing the ranks, maybe a top 5, top 6 coach? Dan Lanning. Like, Dan Lanning makes your ears perk up, right? Where he's been, what he's doing at Oregon. What's his record against Coach Keelon DeBoer? Just saying, right? All right, I want to talk about this this graphic that Alabama has been floating around, okay? Everybody saw it, and it says it's going to be a cold summer. Man, I wish it was cold. It was already hot this morning. Thank you, Patrick. All right. I'm trying to look at the temperature. Good morning, Undefeated. What's up, James? Good morning for being here, man. I appreciate you, right? So what? So he's 5-0 against Dan Lanning and Steve Sarkisian. Damn. Throwing Lincoln Riley. I mean, look, Lincoln Riley's landing 5 stars after 5-star USC, and he had what's Lincoln Riley versus Keelon DeBoer? Okay. Now, you get an opportunity to play Kirby Smart for the first time this coming year. You play Brian Kelly. You play Josh Heupel. You play Brent Venables. You play Hugh Freeze. He's played against very, very good coaches before, but this is another level. Sark After Dark, what's up, man? I appreciate you being here. All right, this graphic going around by Alabama says it's a cold summer, and if like cold means nice, right? Cold means good in popular culture today. What this means to me is like, you know, things are like, this means basically in like the simplest terms that recruiting is going to be very noteworthy. Recruiting is going to be at the forefront for the University of Alabama. And while it is physically hot, it is going to be cold in terms of good. And you saw that yesterday with Keelon Russell coming in. You see that with the recruiting philosophy. Now that it's established, you're going to continue to see it as Alabama has their football camps here, which are, you know, for the next 2 weeks. And you're going to see more guys commit. And just like Jamie said, the 5 stars are going to come. But I know you've seen this graphic that says it's going to be a cold summer. So I wanted to bring that up. Another graphic that I wanted to bring up was Coach Keelon DeBoer posted. Did you see this? I don't think the NASCAR is still there. Otherwise, I'd go see it. I don't live too far from Bryant-Denny Stadium. But Alabama has formed a relationship with NASCAR. Now, we saw a bunch of players, Jalen Miro, Malachi Moore, I think Kobe Prentice. Those guys were at Talladega, right? So this pic floated around yesterday. And I was asking you guys in the Undefeated inside the comment box, how long is it going to take for Georgia to post a picture with a NASCAR? So this NASCAR, like you could look it up on Alabama's social media account. Man, like they got the old logo right in the center, basically under Coach Keelon DeBoer's right arm. They got Lank, right? They got Lank logo underneath it. They got basically the houndstooth pattern on the back at the back end. It says witness on the, let's see. I think I could zoom in on that back end. What does it say? Oh, winners win. Oh, that's what's up. Got the Goodyear tires. All right, let me tell you a story about Goodyear real quick, okay? All right. All right. Lynn's connected. Lynn knows about the NASCAR scene. Yeah, Lynn's been talking about NASCAR since the first time I met him back in, I don't know, when was that, Lynn? February, March? All right, let me tell you a story about Goodyear. All right, so you got the Goodyear Eagle tires on it. Car is fresh. Love it. I mean, this car is legit. Yeah, it's badass for sure. So my son, who I talk about, Caden, right? He's 15. You have 15-year-old kids out there, teens? So my son works at Chick-fil-A, and he loves it. He's been working there for like, I don't know, like 3 months. Guy was like made to work at Chick-fil-A. He probably retired from Chick-fil-A. And before he started working there, they said that he needs non-slip shoes. So I'm like, okay, non-slip shoes, you know, we'll go find him some shoes. This is a story about Goodyear. And so Caden is like, he doesn't want like Lululemon. He doesn't want like big time. He wants like just Target basic clothes. Like the dude is like super low key. I love that about him. Right. And So we go to it was Marshall's. Was it Marshall's or Ross? It was one of the two, because they're right next to each other here in Tuscaloosa. I think we went into Ross, and we're looking at the shoes, right? And you know how the shoes are like in Ross, and they're like, you know, you have some different sizes, and you have like their 17s and like the 11s. It's, you know, it's kind of chaotic. And so we go there, and he finds, and it has to be all black. So he finds some all black it clearly says non-slip shoes, and they're made by Goodyear. So Caden, he's like, I have to have these, right? And they were like, I don't know, they're like $25. So I didn't even know that Goodyear was in the shoe. Does anyone have Goodyear shoes inside the chat? I didn't know that Goodyear made shoes. So those are the shoes he rocks with in the non-slip. Cody has Team Boys, and Patrick, dude, you got 13 years old. Wait, what? Man, that's crazy. So Cody, check this out. All right, so you know, everybody who's been to Chick-fil-A, raise your hand. Everybody, right? So I asked Kaden. So now I'm starting to get like the inside, like the backstories of like Chick-fil-A. And that was my pleasure, right? Hey, so you roll up, and they're so nice. You roll up and you're like, I'll take how many sauces? They ask you at the front. You're like, I'll take 8 sauces, 8 Polynesian sauces. And they're like, my pleasure. You'll be like, hey, give me another this, you know? Obviously, you're not mean to them, but my pleasure. So I asked Kaden, I was like, so do they tell you in the training program to like say my pleasure? No, they don't. They don't teach that. So I don't know where, you know, I don't know where it's coming from, but they don't teach to say my pleasure. That is not like in the code of conduct for like Chick-fil-A. And so the other thing is too, is like every single shake is made. So if Caden does shakes, okay, so he is just on ice cream. That's it. He doesn't like float around. Like if you go, if they tell you to work like your post, you're working the post, or he'll go and he'll work the front, he'll work the window. But oh, so you used to be a manager, man. So you know that it is like clockwork. That is why it's so efficient, right? I love that. Lynn, what's up? This car may end up running in wow, that's amazing. Yeah, so we're talking about that. So Goodyear led to Chick-fil-A. But anyways, Alabama does have a NASCAR, which is fire, absolutely fire. I mean, and there's other pictures on it if you go to Alabama's social media account. And this is the thing, like, Alabama does such a great job marketing, and they understood what's up with all this talk about Chick-fil-A. Louis, my son works there. That's why, like, I know like the ins and outs. So if you have like a question, I got you covered. but it led to us by Goodyear. That's why we got here. But so Alabama understands that NASCAR has, you know, billions of dollars, but they were also connecting that relationship early on at Talladega, right? When they had the players out there, and now you have this car. So let me ask you this: how like do you give it a month before Georgia has a NASCAR? I bet you it happens within the next 2 months. Lynn, keep us posted. But I love it. Love everything about it. All right. Let's talk about, did you see this as well? On the recruiting front. Now, this is 2026, and I know sometimes when I bring up 2026 on here, everyone's like, well, it doesn't matter because these guys can commit and leave other places. Yeah, that's true. But also, you got Alabama just offered Justice Fitzpatrick. So, Fitzpatrick, ring a bell? Well, that is Minka's younger brother, right? Justice Fitzpatrick. And he was offered by Alabama, which is pretty amazing to think about. I mean, what makes you really feel old is the whole Drake Kirkpatrick Jr. thing, now playing for Alabama. Blakey, what's up? From Northern Alabama, we appreciate you. I was supposed to go up to Florence today or tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow. I'm not sure. But I've been up to Florence. It's a really nice place. I look forward to going up there. So Minka's little brother gets offered by the University of Alabama. I love it. Okay. I know I've covered sports for a long time, almost 20 years in the industry doing this exact same thing. And so many times that I've covered sports, and I'm not saying this will be the case, but the younger brother is always better than the older brother because, you know, the bar has been set. Now, in this case, I don't know, like let's just, you know, get here to Alabama if he was to commit here, because Minka man, he set the bar as high as it could go. Minkah Fitzpatrick, I think the two players that I like, kind of when I start to build like my favorites list, now that I've covered Alabama for the last 8 years, Minkah's on the top 3, right? Like Devontae Smith is up there. He's probably number 1. Minkah's number 2. Completely different personalities. Minkah was very an extrovert, big smile, the best interviews, a great representative, a great ambassador for Alabama football. So is Devontae Smith, and he still is, but just in a different way. But Minkah is that guy, if you want like a sit-down interview, you know what they called him? You know, dang, I can't. Let me ask you trivia. What was Minkah Fitzpatrick's nickname? Does anybody know this? What was Minkah Fitzpatrick's nickname here at Alabama? Louis, right? Minkah was amazing. No, maybe it was Silk. Maybe, these guys sometimes, like, you can have different nicknames. But it wasn't that. They used to call him something. It just came to me. Doesn't look like we have my youngest son. Exactly, Cody. Like the younger ones are always the dogs, right? Okay. Minkah Fitzpatrick. Let me tell you a quick story about. Yeah, that's a good one. Minkah Magic. So I'm posted I was at Starkville, and I was watching Mississippi State and Alabama, and the Jim Thorpe Award was about to be presented here in a couple weeks, and they came up to him, and they came up to me, and honestly, I was just like eating food before the game. And they're like, you cover Alabama football? And I was like, yeah, I do. This has been an amazing season, blah, blah. I even forget what year it was. I think it might have been. It was the year Minkah won the Jim Thorpe Award. You guys can look it up and let me know inside the comment box. And I was like, honestly, like Minkah is like, he's incredible in every sense of the word, not only on the field, but like as a person. And, he ends up winning the Jim Thorpe Award. I had nothing to do with it. He was already going to win the award regardless. He was called Saban's son. That's what they called him. And I remember Damian Harris. By the way, if you haven't seen that podcast with Damian Harris, go check it out. But he was called Saban's son. Like, he's basically like cut from Coach Saban. Was that 2016? Man, that's wild that was that long ago. Yep, but he was called Saban's son. So anyways, Justice Fitzpatrick, offered by the University of Alabama, and keeping tabs on that going forward. Which very, very, man, that family must be elated to be able to get an offer from Alabama. And Alabama has so much momentum. Cody, you're not going to like this because we're talking more about Texas prospects. Alabama going into Texas. This is Ty Haywood, 5-star prospect out of the Lone Star State as well. This guy, he looks older than 17, 18 years old. I love the length, and I love that. Where are they getting these sweatshirts from? Right? I never seen gear like this before. So this is Ty Haywood, who is also at the University of Alabama this past weekend. Loved his visit. I don't know if he has a set timeline in terms of when he is going to commit, but you have him with Keelon Russell. You get a chance to visit with Alabama. Remember what I just said, meeting with everybody and kind of understanding. And look, a lot of times we say like this new energy, but it's still also to believe, like you also have to still understand like the brand itself and the foundation is so solid here at the University of Alabama. Lynn says, Kyle, I believe the #1 corner in the country. Yep. Wild. And Max, what's up, man? Fitzpatrick in Montgomery. Huh. I didn't know about that. But all I know is that's an amazing family. That's an amazing young man. And, I kind of think back if Minkah would be with the Dolphins now, man, that's what I'm saying, Jamie. He looks 30, right? This dude looks the part. But the best thing for Minkah was to go to Pittsburgh. Because the Dolphins, when he was there, are not the Dolphins now. Right? Huh. I didn't know that, Max. That's what's up. That's amazing. So this is a prospect who was in, and this is another 5-star. And we're watching Dejon Lee. What are we, 23 days away? I think he's committing on the back end of June sometime. Blakey says this Bama DeBoer team is going to go far. I love it. I mean, the roster that he's building, the things that are going on with the University of Alabama, how can you not be excited about it? How can you not look, if you're in let's look at the SEC football rankings for recruiting. Let's see, Alabama football recruiting. All right, let's see. Because I think when we look to the SEC, I want to see comparatively where Alabama is in the SEC. Again, we go to On3. So you have LSU right now, who's at number 1. They have 2 5-stars, 8 4-stars. Alabama now has 9 4-stars. So it's LSU, Alabama, Georgia, Texas A&M, Auburn, Oklahoma, Texas, Tennessee, Ole Miss, Missouri, South Carolina, Kentucky, Florida, Arkansas, Mississippi State, and Vanderbilt. Those are your recruiting rankings in the SEC right now. I love seeing Oklahoma and Texas up in this. This is Texas. Just curious to see where Texas is recruiting from right now. Let's see, Lance Jackson out of Texas, KJ Lacey, of course, out of Alabama, Elijah Barnes out of Dallas, Shreveport. That's what I was thinking. Texas. Okay. Just kind of looking as well. Okay, so you have a few prospects out of Texas. I just think it's been amazing to see, like, kind of Coach Keelon DeBoer's recruiting philosophy in terms of, like, it's a nationwide hunt. Here's LSU. They have one of the top recruiting classes in the country right now. Overall, they are second in the country behind Ohio State. So you have Bryce Underwood, who's a 5-star. Then you also have Harlan Berry, who's a composite 5-star right here. He's a running back out of Louisiana. Jabari Antoni, so he is a corner. He's a 4-star out of Louisiana. You know what? I mean, look, Louisiana, Mississippi, Louisiana, Houston, Louisiana. Man, whew. That's another. So I always hype up the University of Alabama, like Alabama's high school talent. Louisiana as well. It's amazing the talent that is in Louisiana for high school football. And think about it. If you're LSU, you're battling right in there with, I mean, this is where you can recruit. Baton Rouge, you're Houston, right? Beaumont, that whole area. Houston's gigantic. You have Louisiana. Yeah, Mississippi. Yeah, it's impressive. Yeah, Cody, and we're in June talking recruiting, so who knows? There's going to be a bunch of flips, and who knows what's going to happen over the next couple months in terms of recruiting. I think, you're going to see flips, and Alabama's going to get theirs, and so is, LSU. But right now, Alabama seems like they're in a really good position. Ricky Smith saying Georgia. Texas recruiting about to heat up starting this weekend. I would imagine so. I mean, for everybody too, because now is an opportunity. Like, that's why Alabama's like going to have their cold summer. You're going to continue to see commits. I mean, they just needed time to get set in place so they could start like hosting prospects here, right? Kyle Anderson, Bama Football on YouTube. I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you so much for joining me this morning on Wednesday, June 5th. It is 8:02 a.m. We are talking Alabama football recruiting, and kind of it's stemming from Keelon Russell flipping from SMU to Alabama. I kind of open it up for some questions inside the comment box for a few more minutes while I'm here in my morning segment. So if you guys have some hot topics that you guys want to chomp on, sometimes I like to go to Reddit College Football. We did that yesterday. Wanted to talk about Keelon Russell this morning and, what it meant for him coming to Alabama. And I think sometimes, we forget that if you're not from Alabama and if you're not in the ecosystem and you come over here and you see all of these first round draft picks on the board, that's why see where this picture is taking place. This is where Coach Keelon DeBoer gives his post game press conferences, right? What's up? I like that avatar pic, man. That's cool. You got the jersey, the 2 kids. That's what's up. Ever notice how much success Bama has had with Texas quarterbacks? Just saying. Huh. Good point. I like that. Keeping Bo Davis was huge. Oh, yeah. That was the one. like kind of when you look back, those are the ones that got away, because everybody would have loved for Bo Davis to come back. There was a time where everybody would love for Jeremy Pruitt to come back, right? You know what, Jarvis? I didn't see that. I'm gonna start this comment so I can go back and look at it. I didn't see Damani Jackson interview. I'm excited about him. I think that he's going to play at a very high level. I think right now kind of the limelight is on Keon Sabb in terms of being like the impactful player, then Malachi Moore because he's a leader. But Damani Jackson, I haven't forgotten about him. I want to see more of him for sure. Cool. That's what's up, Louis. I'll check it out for sure. Will Jeremy Pruitt ever coach in college again? I would imagine at some point in time. I think you got to let things die down, and there's probably some. Isn't he going through like some sort of litigation right now? Lynn is saying, I also think we get a look at wide receivers. This is Keon's teammate. His name is Moore. Yeah, we talked about him in the beginning. I mean, if Alabama, that's why I think like once you start to stack on talent on the like with your quarterback, it's kind of like a snowball. So I would imagine the next month, even you know what, things can pick up. There's been years where you get 5 to 8 guys in July, right before the season. Yeah, still has a show cause. Yeah, that's regarding Pruitt, right? Cool, that's what's up, man. I'll definitely check it out on Damani Jackson. I like his story. Oh, you got to meet Will Reichert during A-Day? Will Reichert's career is so storied at the University of Alabama, being the winningest or having the most points scored. And it still trips me out that Alabama was able to get Graham Nicholson, right? Like, man, that I get it. Like, Caden Proctor is the biggest physically and, impact-wise best transfer that you got coming back. But I think Graham Nicholson is right there, too. Jeez. Because he's going to lead the team in points this year for sure. Who's the best kicker in the SEC? I'm sure. I don't even know if the undefeated will know that. I think it's probably Graham Nicholson. Who's the best punter in the SEC? You could probably say James Burnup, right? There's a handful of dangerous kick returners and punt returners, but I think Alabama, when you look to special teams, they just went from, I think they went from a C unit wise to like an A+ when they got Graham Nicholson and James Burnup. That's it. That was like their weak spot. That in the offensive line. We talked about this yesterday. It was like you needed to fill out the tackle position. Well, you got Caden Proctor, and I would imagine that it's either going to be McVay or probably Wilcom Formby. That's what I'm saying, Louis. Like the special teams, when this game drops out on NCAA football on July 16th, Alabama better. I don't know if they're going to rank like by units how they used to, but they have to be an A+ on special teams. How many Aussie punters are there in the SEC? I don't know about that, but I know like Mitch Wisnowski for the 49ers. I follow the 49ers. They have a punter from down under. He's very good. James Burnap is amazing. What's up, Efron? The rain just doesn't stop, man. I swear I've gotten at least 4 feet of rain. Where are you at, Efron? It was raining here a little bit in Tuscaloosa this morning for my workout, but just like sprinkling. In fact, I'm growing some tomatoes in the back, so I went and put them out for a better vantage point for, I've been in like my plants. I'm so proud of myself for the plants. Stay dry though, Efron. Lynn says Bama has 11 committed prospects right now. I think they'll have a total of 22 commits by August 25. I would probably I would take the under on that, but I like that. I think we will pick up. We're going to have a 5-star offensive lineman, gets us to 16. Oh, you're up in Tennessee. It's just pouring up there. Stay dry, man. You know what? Patrick, you're up in North Arkansas. I think the rain total right now for Tuscaloosa, it hasn't been very wet. It was a little bit wet kind of in the early spring, but it's been a pretty moderate, I don't know, last couple of months. Like we haven't had, I think we had like one tornado watch, but overall the weather's been favorable. I just turned on the sprinklers like a couple days ago just to kind of keep things a little bit green. But I mean, I really haven't had to, because it's kind of been like a moderate, you know, sprinkle here and there, nothing crazy. But you know that weather can turn on you real quick. Oh, what's up, man? Appreciate you being here. Good to see you in the comment box once again. I think we get Minka's little brother, Kirkpatrick's son, on campus. Think about that. Wow, that'd be crazy. Love it. You're not stealing them in the portal. Love it when family follows family to Bama. Those kids turn out to be ballers. Let's talk about this. Who are other siblings that have played? Okay, immediately I think of Tua and Talia. Right? What's up, PK2K? Thanks for coming to us from NYC, man. That's what's up. Are there any other like brothers? Right? I'm trying to like go through my head. Oh, the Brockamar brothers. Yeah. The Brockamar brothers. Good call out. The Good brothers? Castle brothers? I don't know. I think that might have been before my time. The Hannah boys? Probably before my time as well. Jarvis wants to talk basketball. that basketball team is crazy. Everything about it is good. Oh, I want to show you something real quick. I saw this on social media too. I meant to talk about this, but then there was like so much going on, I forgot about it. Okay, so this is a photo that is posted in Greg Burns' office now. It's not a photo, it's a chair, but this is a photo of a chair. Okay, look at this. That's what's up. So it's a bench seat, right, or a seat from the Final Four, and now that's in Greg Burns' office. That's a nice chair. Hannah may be the best offensive tackle of all time. Wow, that's what's up. Jalen Mbakwe returning punts and kicks would be fire. Yeah, I don't know who's going to return kicks or punts. I mean, could it even be like Jeremy Bernard? Oh, yes, Patrick. That's a good call. Malachi's brother is coming in as well. Yep, I think he's a preferred walk-on. Yeah, good count out on that. Yeah, I don't even know. I don't want to butcher this, but I think you're right on this, C-Dub. Man, C-Dub, you got the kids on you too, man. That's what's up. I love dad life. I'm a dad, as you know, 15 and 11 years old. So this is my schedule today. So I got up 4:45, went to go work out, came back, made breakfast. Caden got out the door to football practice at 7:30, jumped on the show, and then go pick him up at 10:15, bring him back, take him to Chick-fil-A. I got my daughter with me as well. She's home from summertime, so being creative like during the summertime, I think it's tough. I'm here at my office, and then I pick Caden up, come back, make dinner, and then repeat. So Jarvis, what's up, man? I saw Jalen Mbakwe, Ryan Williams, Jake Kirkpatrick are gonna start a podcast. Really? That's what's up. That's amazing. I didn't even see that. I can't wait to hear that. That's gonna be cool. John Hannah may be the best to ever play at Bama in the pros. Yeah, that's gonna be cool. Yeah, those freshmen, man, they all have dynamic personalities for sure. All right, fam. Well, I appreciate you being with me on the morning show. As news happens right here on Bama Football on YouTube, I got you covered. Stay with me. Thank you very much for subscribing to the website. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. It is June 5th. It is Wednesday. I hope you guys have a productive day. Jeff, I want to hear back from you on those calories, man. You have 0 right now. I want you to get 315 3:15, man. Go for a couple walks around the block. Knock it out. Owen, good to see you, man. Ricky Smith, roll tide to you. Chris from New Jersey, love you as always, man. Lynn Shannonfeld, thank you so much. Jarvis, love you, bro. Byron, was good, man. Louis, Blakey, Patrick, C-Dub, Max, PK2K out in the NYC, Louis, see who else we got up in here. I think I said Owen, Ricky, all my boys right here. Efron, Efron, stay dry, man. Use your umbrella. Jarvis, of course, I love you, man. Jamie and Southern Red she was the first one in today, so I appreciate all of you. LaDon, appreciate you being here too. Thank you so much for being here on Bama Football on YouTube. As news happens, I got you covered. Have a beautiful Wednesday, and be notified. News happens. So got you covered right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Love you guys, and see you next time.